American football in Finland.
The voice in your ears, a little scratchy today, and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Pervis, and this is American Football in Finland. Today, joined by my co-host, Coach Q. What's going on?
We back, baby.
Back at it. The AFF podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcast, and you can see it visually here on YouTube. Wherever you listen or watch, be sure to subscribe, follow, and like us. Anyone who listens but doesn't hit that button, you are a hater, and we already know. And we're gonna get on with the show, anyways. What I had to press button. All right, it's first down. We get a chance to talk about whatever is going on in the world. What you got going, Q?
Hey, nothing, man. I've been watching the NFL, little preseason highlights, and
What's your thoughts on Shador?
it's first game. You know what I'm saying? First game. He looked it like pretty good in first preseason game, but you can absolutely not judge anybody by a preseason. So it's like it was nice to see him get praised or whatever for the game that he did have, but it means zero to what's going to happen in the season. So
I didn't watch any of the games, but I saw the social media and people trying to roast Ashton Genty because he had 3 carries and -1 yards, and I'm like, when in any football game if someone has 3 carries and you're like, oh my god, you need to have crazy stuff. He had 3 carries. He had
Yeah.
3 carries. Like obviously he didn't even play, and there's some stuff online they're like he's not even the best running back from that college. I'm like, first of all, you can't take away nothing he did in college by a
Yeah.
preseason game in the NFL. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's really
people just jump on stuff so too fast, man. It ain't even no point of judging it off. Like for one, they're not playing anybody. And then two, it's more so he's a rookie. It's like you get in there getting your first little piece of action against somebody else on live TV. I'm sure Ashton Genty got a long career ahead of him. So these little 3 carries or 2 yards or -yards, whatever they want to say, don't mean nothing.
it tell me he the starter. It's a preseason game. You shouldn't have no stats if they believe in you already. If they know you're gonna be the one.
Yeah.
If you only had 3 carries as a running back, that means you don't have to prove nothing to us. We don't save you for the season.
Yeah, nothing.
That's all.
It was just
That's all that means.
Just to see what it looked like with him on with the jersey on in there. Like that's
Yeah.
it.
That's crazy. But for me, I was going to talk about some stuff, but my voice is so bad, I don't want to waste it. But I do want to give a shout out to Chris Green and the Bristol team. They had that tie against the London Warriors, and I know them two teams going at it. And I saw it online somewhere. They tied 24-24 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Game. Crazy game.
Yeah. So shout out to Chris, and Spencer was out there, of course. I saw a video. It was Spencer that I saw the updates from, and he got a gash in his knee or something, and had to get it sewed up. It was
Spence still out there, man. Spence still going there.
Yeah. Still getting all them reps. But yeah, that's first down. Let's get into this weekend, man. All right, it's time to give out some of these helmet stickers. Let's talk about some of the key player performances from this weekend. Stats aside, these are some guys who deserve recognition for their play. We'll start with one sticker performances. Do you have any? I've got 7.
One stickers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see who I would legitimately say one sticker. 82 from the Roosters, but he kind of had better than a one sticker game. Receiver, he hit for about 3 touchdowns, I believe. It was like 2 or 3 touchdowns. Um,
R3 Takapa.
yeah, Takapa, that's his name.
Yep.
I guess I gave him a one sticker. It probably could have been two, but he just made some great catches. And looked like a legit number, 2 option, 1 or 2 option, like one-on-one. He won his battle. So I would definitely go with him. Also, Miko Seppin in one sticker. He got an interception, so I give him that. Who else stood out to me? One sticker wise, that's probably it. One sticker wise.
Yeah.
I got some 2 stickers. Yeah.
I've got a lot of one stickers, not a lot of two stickers. And you got to remember that once the game gets 3 scores, like 21-0, I'm not watching it. So, like, the Roosters, I didn't see a lot of, like what you said, he had 3 touchdowns. I didn't see any of that because they had already won the game, in my opinion. So, I ain't watching the rest of it. So, I can't give you stickers for what I can't see. But my one sticker, guys, first, I'm going to throw out the kicker from the Crocodiles. He made a 41-yard field goal. I give him a sticker because, I mean, that's still a decent distance to be making field goals. And also, it's Ed to Makimonis, and he hasn't been kicking for them all year. And that could be a difference for them going into the playoffs if he's back around and kicking because they had someone else kicking for them earlier. So I'm giving him a star for making a field goal that would legitimately be able to change a game later in the season for the Crocs. Also, I'm going Ville Hamalainen, Hammy from the Roosters, running back. It says he has 46 yards, 1 touchdown. All I know is in the first couple scores for the Roosters, he was out there. Number 24 was doing all the work, and he did really well. And then it was a blowout. Also from the Roosters, Tarmo Pitkainen. He had 6 receptions, 60 yards. He did a lot of it early because I saw a lot. I seen him making a lot of catches, getting a lot of yards, just real consistent. And he's number 14 for them. He's been doing this for the last few years. Like he'll have 1 or 2 games where like they can just keep feeding him the ball, and he's so consistent. A very good game for him, so I'm giving him a star. Next guy I have is Jesse Vuoksentura from the Butchers. He had 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Mostly, I'm giving him 1 sticker because of the tackle for loss, where he gets double teamed. He got double teamed, and he broke the double team, so only 1 guy is blocking him, and he made the tackle while he was getting blocked, technically. I mean, it's probably worth more than 1 star, but I'm literally giving him 1 star for that play. But he did have an impact on the game, being able to make 5 tackles from the DT position. They had him playing in the 3 spot instead of at nose a lot in this game. So I think that made him more effective, like in the defensive scheme, actually. Next guy, Zach Wright from the Butchers. He had an interception. I mean, if that ain't worth a star, I don't know what is. Like you said, I mean, he had an interception. You got to give it to him.
Got to give it to him, yeah.
Yeah, I got to give him something. So shout out to Zach Wright. I mean, I don't know how many he got on the season, but he probably nearing that record again. He's got to be getting close. He's got to have like 6 or 7. Like when we did the stats in the middle of the season, he had what, 4? He had 4 or 5. So he might be at 6 or 7. I think the record is 8. So we're probably going for that again in the next couple weeks. Next guy I got on here is Tristan Rankin from the Royals, number 9. He had 4.5 tackles, but it's not about the stats. It's about him blocking the field goal, like laying out and getting that field goal block. Respect to that. You get a star from me. Last guy, Braden Kyles, quarterback from the Crocodiles. Not as a quarterback. I'm not giving him a star as a quarterback because he didn't do well throwing in this game. Like, I mean, he threw, but like he didn't make, there wasn't enough completions for me to be like, oh yeah, you had a good game. He had like 86 yards passing, but he had 60 yards rushing. And I wrote in my notes here that when they were doing that read option early in the game, he was doing really well. He was getting a lot of yards from that. And then they kind of went away from it, and he still ended up doing pretty good with the 60 rush yards. So I'm giving him a star for his running ability in this game. All right, that's my 1 stickers. All right, let's go to 2 stickers. Who you got?
2 stickers. I'm going to start it off with Kahari Lane. Probably could have been somewhat a 3-sticker game, but I'm gonna give him 2 stickers. Well balanced game. well-rounded game as an offense. He moved the ball around, got the ball to Noah Choke, got quick, got in the end zone. Even Isaac Marshall did a real good job with the offense, just spreading it out. It opened up that running game tremendously. So that leads me into like my next two-star, which is actually Ethan Greenfield. Very hard running in this game.
I got
Moves and
stats on I got
go ahead.
stats on Ethan because I gave him three stickers, but he had
Mhm.
210 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's why I gave
Mhm.
him three. But like you, I originally gave him two when I looked at the
Yeah.
film, but that's all he had
Yeah.
200 yards. And I was like, it's 200 yards.
Yeah. He had a great game. Ethan Greenfield definitely had a great game. Running hard, kind of what we've seen before. You know what I'm saying? Leaving Jesse saying something. What's up, Jesse? But yeah, Ethan Greenfield definitely balled out. I give their whole offense really a two-star because Scorpio Steelers to me have been getting better every week. They're
Mhm.
pulling guards, they're pulling tackles. That's when you know your offense is getting to that point now where you're preparing for the latter part of the season. So yeah,
Mhm.
shout out to them for those two sticker performances. Ambrose, I'm giving Ambrose a two-sticker performance only because of who they played. Normally, I would probably say it was three, and the reason I'm giving him a two-sticker, I say 2.5, is because he made a lot of great throws in his game. Real
Yeah.
confident. I like the way he moved out of the pocket and just delivered good balls and good throws, and just lit the scoreboard up. I mean, Ambrose was on fire. Like he was real comfortable. If you watched it, you know what I'm saying. You can see that when he got out of the pocket, he wasn't looking to run. He was waiting for his receivers to get open, and he just he delivered some great balls. So Ambrose definitely two-sticker performance. I gave Deontay Sip two stickers just because he ends up in the end zone at least once or twice a game, and I'm going consistency over anything. So Sip definitely two. Uh, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that's probably like my strong two sticker guys. But I do have, well, you know what? I'm gonna throw Collier in there too. I'm gonna throw
Okay.
Collier in there. Collier,
He's my two-sticker guy.
yeah,
So I
I'm
got
throwing
his
Collier in
stats.
there too. Yeah,
He had 5 receptions, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But go ahead, talk about
yeah, and I believe he had an interception too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might have had an interception too, or
it. Did he?
takeaway, or fumble recovery. I don't know if they had it on there,
Oh,
but I feel like he had an interception.
well. Again, they beat him 21-0. So I'm giving him 2 stars after it was
Before all that,
21-0.
yeah,
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 yeah. So if he did it
yeah,
later, I didn't even think about defense. If I would give him
yeah.
3 stars if he had an interception too.
Yeah. And then going to the butchers, I'm gonna give I'm giving Aaron B Day a two-star performance because I feel like their offense uh wasn't as strong as far as scoring points, but he still spread the ball around. What he does with Lucas Earl is at this point is like just ridiculous now. And I don't understand why people still even leaving one person on Lucas Earl. But Aaron B Day, another great game by him. Moved the ball around, got some points on the board. Probably not as much as they were expecting, but still two-sticker performance from him.
Yeah, I did not like that. I had to watch a lot of that game. God damn it. I had to watch it all the way to halftime. And then I guess they only scored like once after halftime. The thing. Let me throw out my two guys for two stickers. I have Adam Callahan from the Steelers. I got him with 8 tackles. Uh, I mean, number 0 is always, he out there, and he did a great job as usual. That's why I think he led everybody in tackles in this game. But I also want to note that did you see him when he hit Deontay Sip and that helmet popped
Yeah,
off? I
yeah,
mean, if you bring it like that, bro, you get 2 stickers. It is what it is. Can't do nothing but respect that. And then last guy I got. Do you have any 3 sticker performances?
yeah.
Okay, I think my 2 sticker is going to be your 3. And
Uh,
again, I'm giving them 2 because I don't watch the whole game.
mm.
So I'm giving them 2 based off of what I saw in the first couple plays. But it's Jesse Robbins, the quarterback from the Saints. Did you give him 3?
I gave him 3. I gave him 3.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna talk about his stats because when I saw his stats, I was like, oh shit, he did way
Yeah.
better than what I saw. He had 342 yards, 67% completion, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. And
Yeah.
before I'll let you talk about him too, but what I saw early in the game was I saw him putting the ball in places where his receivers could get it, and he was very like proficient. And also, there was only a few times he had to like move, but when he moved, he still had some like dimes in the passing game, and just him being so comfortable and being able to deliver the ball, it looks night and day compared to before he got hurt for that one game. Like
Mhm.
since he's come back, it's been totally different. And this game was like kind of evidence of that. Even in as early as a 21-0, it looked to me like he was going to complete like 70, 80% of his passes. And
Yeah.
apparently he did. But what did you think about him? Because now we can do 3 stickers. I'm done with my 2s.
Yeah, Jesse, I gave Jesse Robinson a 3 sticker for me, and the reason I did is because just the poise that he had. Like you said, if he did get some pressure, sometimes it was probably usually like one person, and he's shaking them. They not tackling them 1-on-1. So, but he got out of the pocket, delivered some nice balls down the field. Every pass that you can think of, he made in this game. Definitely, you know, totally different team, man. To me, like totally different team now. The Saints are. I don't know if it's the confidence that Collier might have brought to them, or they had a speech from Jesse. But when your quarterback is coming out and delivering the ball the way that he did and moving the ball around the way that he did, you can only like look up from there. So I gave Jesse 3 stickers just from his performance because, like you said, he threw 5 TDs, threw for over 300 yards, and they got a win, and it was 2 wins in a row actually now, right? So,
Yeah. One,
so now
one,
Saints on the winning
one,
streak.
yeah. One of the things that I really liked about watching him in this game, because it's coming to my mind when you were talking about his throws, was there was a play where he had to like buy a little bit of time. And then he's rolling left as a right-handed quarterback, and he throws it and drops like a over the defender right outside where the receiver has to reach for it, but towards the sideline. So if the receiver doesn't catch it, it's incompletion. If he does catch it, he gets the yards. And it's like that's a hard throw to do going to your left as a right-handed quarterback.
Yeah.
And it takes a certain amount of anticipation, precision, and arm strength. And he showed all that on the run. And that's what he did early in the game that I saw. That I was like, that's really impressive that he's able to do that and then still be like catch throw on time routes. But also he was able to do the plays that weren't on time as well. So shout out to him. Really good job. Did you have anybody else for 3 stickers or that was it?
I believe that was it for my 3 stickers, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
Jesse
works.
Jesse was about the only one. I mean, it could have,
Yeah.
like I said, Ambrose could have been a 3 sticker too, but just for sure that his performance stood out tremendously for me anyway. So.
Yeah, that works for me. Let's get into these games. Oh, before we get into it, let me do this comment.
Faithful
I
Butchers
give
fans
three
is showing
stickers.
you commitments to every single game, no matter who is against. Oh yeah, yeah.
Shout out to
Butchers
the
fans are
Butchers
out there.
fans.
Butchers fans are out there, man, for real. This reminds me. You know what? This Butchers like right now reminds me of the Butchers when I first came to Finland. This is like
Mm,
2008, around 2008 time. Like every Butchers game that I ever went to was live. Like every single one of them
mm.
was live. They fans was live. No matter if they great or if they're not that good of a team, the Butchers fans definitely come in and show support. So shout out to the Butchers fans for supporting their team, man. I know it feel good, and I know it's probably flashes of what it used to be like that. Like this Butchers team obviously is a totally different Butchers team that won the championship.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I can honestly say, and I know this might sound crazy coming from me. This might have been one of the best Butchers teams that I ever seen assembled in the last like 10 years, I'm gonna say. In the last 10 years, this might be one of the best Butcher teams I ever seen. And it's been a lot of good Butchers team, don't get me wrong. But this right here is probably the best that I've seen.
I don't think that's hard to say because 10 years you're only going to what 2015
Yeah.
and what they. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, never mind.
they have some
What
good
you're saying?
teams now.
I'm saying I'm just not realizing what you're saying is this
Yeah.
team is better than the team from 2 years ago. That's
Oh yeah,
insane.
yeah, yeah. For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna sneeze. Damn it.
Get it out.
Oh, I'm trying something in my nose. All right. Anyways, I'm not. But we're gonna get into the win or loss of the games this weekend. Shouldn't be that hard. We know what happened on the scoreboard, but let's see what we really think. First game, East City Giants versus Helsinki Roosters. Did the Roosters win it or did the Giants lose it?
The Roosters won it. Easy game. They pretty much got everybody involved offensively and defensively. Like I said, the Roosters in playoff mode at this point, so they're just executing and just trying to be a better team than what they already are. Even though they're not getting pushed to any type of limit or trying to, uh, you know, getting pressured in any kind of way. Like I said, if Ambrose is playing like that, it's going to be real hard to beat the Roosters. And the Giants found out, just another easy game to where all the Roosters guys got some reps. The younger guys got to play. The backup quarterback got to play. He threw a great touchdown too. So yeah, it was nice seeing them, come in there and handle business, and at the same time, um, you know, come out healthy and still win. But yeah, I'm not gonna even talk on that too long. The Roosters won that fair and square.
I think I agree 100%. I was just gonna say that I think EC Giants trying to make their like comeback story even better. They like, we got one win on this season. Next year we're gonna get 2 wins. That's 50% or something. I don't know. Like I don't think they're too much concerned on like the rest of the season, like trying to like make noise per se. I feel like they're just trying to finish the season healthy and
Yeah.
I think they feel like they've had a decent inaugural season in the Maple League. I can't say I agree, but I can understand it. I feel that if they feel that way, they came,
Yeah.
they
I mean,
played, they competed for a decent
they have
amount
a
of games.
chance on offense. They can actually like score on offense though. That's the difference. And then I
Yeah,
think then like the Wolverines or whatever, but like, ECG they got some work to do,
yeah,
It ain't easy up there.
yeah. That now they know how much like where the difference is. I think that's where
Yeah.
they're at right now.
Yeah.
Second game, we got Helsinki Wolverines versus Tampa the Saints. I mean, we have to say the Wolverines lost it, right? They had a
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, 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 of course. The position that makes this game different is the quarterback position. Like we said, the
You
Wolverines
think
made a
so?
decision. They made a decision to go with Rash, and that's fine. That's fine. And it's just when you watch, the turnovers and the interception that he throws, it's just like it's just hard watching. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a team like the Saints who actually took this season serious and got a good quarterback, and then now signing, another importer too. And it's like this is, they showed like they tried to get better. They showed they wanted to make their team better, and that's just the difference in these teams and it's quarterback play. I believe the Wolverines do have skilled players that can make plays on offense, but if you can't give them the ball, it doesn't really help you, and it definitely doesn't help your defense if you can't score points or finish drives. So, yeah, fair and square. Saints won. Big win, good win for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. Saints won for sure. And it's always tough with the Wolverines because we've said it before. And well, at least I've said it and I mean it, is that their defense isn't bad. But like you said, if your offense isn't scoring, there's only like they're not a great defense. Like, you know how hard it would have to be able to win these games with no offense? Like
Mhm.
everybody can't beat the Wausau Royals and win 9-7, like
Yeah.
they did against the Roosters way back when. Like that's an anomaly. You're saying that and it's the Maple League. Like we've said it before, and I think anybody playing football at this day and age, Here's the standard. If you're on offense, you need to score 24. If you're on defense, you need to hold them to 21. Like the way the game is set up, I'm okay with a defense that gives up 3 scores over 4 quarters. And I'm okay with a team that can score 4 times. Like those are what I'm looking for. Anything over or under, you start messing with the other side. If the offense is only able to score 2 touchdowns a game, you putting pressure on your defense all game of the other team having the ball enough to score 4, 5, 6. Like if I have 7 possessions in a game, I want to score 4 times.
Yeah.
But if I have 9 possessions in a game, I'm gonna score 4 times. Like you gave me 2 extra tries to get to my number. And that's what's happening with the Wolverines is they're not holding the ball long enough that if the other team is getting 8 or 9 possessions, scoring 4 or 5, and we're not scoring on any. We're getting the same amount of possessions and not scoring, or we're turning it over and giving them more than us. They get 9, we get 6, and our offense can't score off of 6. Nonetheless, they get 9, they're gonna score. And I feel like we're saying the same thing about this team for 2 years now, that their offense is just not helping the defense. We said the same thing last year. It's disheartening this late in the season to be saying the same thing about the Wolverines. But we'll move on. Third game, Kuopio Steelers versus Senyoki Crocodiles. This is an interesting one. Or do you think it was just one-sided?
No, I think this was an interesting game. I do believe the Steelers were the better team. I do believe that. Just from
100%.
watching them play, they look more crisp. It looked like they had a game plan and they stuck with that game plan. Like we said, Madeline is getting these guys better and better. The Crocs, I think, are winging it in some aspects of their game, especially defense. I think they're winging it, and it put them in some bad predicaments. They just from watching the Crocs, I think they're like a pretty good defensive unit. But when it comes to guys like Noah Choate, when it comes to Isaac Marshall, when it comes to dealing with Ethan Greenfield, that's more of a mentality. You have to be prepared for them. You have to be prepared to somewhat stop them. And if you're not, making the plays you need to make one-on-one, you're not going to beat Kuopio at this. And like I said, they're getting better week to week. The last thing you want is Ethan Greenfield to now in this latter part of the season is to get crunk up. And that's what it's looking like to happen. So
did you see towards the end of the game, they had already kind of like won it. Like the Steelers were already up by whatever. And Ethan Greenfield had this long run. And in the middle of the field, now everybody got to make business decisions. But we're in the middle of the field, and the safety, Sarah and number 20, is coming down like, hey, I'm gonna grab his legs, I'm gonna save the touchdown. And Ethan Greenfield turned to number 20, put that shoulder down, and rocked little buddy. I was like, that's the mentality. Yeah, that's the mentality. Like, usually if a running back is going 20, 30 yards, they're trying to score, and you're like, okay, they're gonna try to avoid defenders. Ethan Greenfield not going for that. He bought that action. Like he turned in and said, hey, let's do some contact. He runs with a vicious force. I know it's a little weird to say because, he's a light skin, but he's got more of a Marshawn Lynch mentality to me. And like, if you just don't imagine what he like physically looks like and just look at his running style and how he plays the game.
Oh, yeah. Bruiser.
He's always at 100, and it's I don't want to say like it's explosive like energy. Like he's not just using his body and running you over. He's exploding and like looks like he can't even control it sometimes. Like he's just hitting anything that gets in his way. And it's fun to watch because we haven't seen him play in a couple weeks. So he's starting to forget how good he really is. And again, him getting the 200 yards, he just eats up the yards, but he's also taking contact and giving contact. As a former running back, I remember my coach used to always say, you either go get hit or hit somebody. And that goes for the linebacker and the running back. Yeah. And if you're a running back that hits defenders, you get a much longer career than a running back that gets hit. So, definitely Steelers were the better team. I think just to add on a little bit about what you said, the difference between these two teams in this game, I would say it. I think I've said it a couple of times, is Steelers made more plays than the Crocs did. And in this game, you saw that against this team, the Crocs could not prevent big plays on defense, and they couldn't make enough big plays on offense. And that's the difference between second and fourth place, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or third and fourth place, I guess. Or yeah, we have the Steelers at third right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's the difference. It's really close, but you know, 2 touchdowns. When it was in the fourth quarter, 24-17. I'm like, okay, we got a ball game. All the Crocs got to do is stop them. That wasn't going to happen, and that's just how it went down. Like I wrote in my notes for this game, like both these teams are moving the ball. Like both of them are having success on offense. Steelers are having more success. I honestly, when I walk away from this game, I don't look at either defense and be like, oh, you took the ball or did something that really stopped their offense. This is a game where, yeah, the Crocs didn't score enough to win, but if this game kept going, it would still be about a 7 to 10 point difference the entire game. It'd be about 2 scores, and not to like, oh, you're never going to get close. It'd be down to 1, and then it'd be down to maybe 3 points, and then it'd go the other way because the Steelers are just a little bit better than the Crocs, and that's what this game proved. It's always good to see a game that lives up to what you see on paper, what you see on the field, and the emotion of the sport, the game. It was a good game to watch. Similar to like last week when we saw the Crocs play against the Saints. Like it's a good game to watch. And so I guess the Crocodiles are the barometer this year.
And the Steelers offensive line looked good. Like, I mean, the Crocs is coming on defense, like defensive line wise, but the Steelers offensive line blocked really, really good in this game. Run game and passing.
I want to talk a little bit about that because I think the Crocodiles did themselves a disservice so that the Steelers line could look good. The Steelers, it looks like they moved Corhonen. They had him at right tackle. I think he had been playing either guard or center earlier in the season. They got Sastamoinen at center in this game. And you saw Corhonen had to go up against, let me write it on here. I think he was going up against Riley Coleman, number 2. I think he was going against him. He wasn't always winning, but he was doing good enough to get by. And then what happened on the other side was they kept putting Nakano at linebacker. And when he's at linebacker, he was getting there just too late. Kahari was getting the ball off right before Nakano was hitting him in the mouth because he's coming from linebacker depth instead of the edge. And that little difference made him almost not effective because the Steelers quarterback was fast enough to react to it. There was times where he would go from linebacker around the edge, not get blocked at all, and still not make it in time because the ball's out. And if that's the case, the Steelers didn't have to do anything. They just didn't have to block him sometimes. And then a few times when they had him go into linebacker and he went to like the A or B gap, he ended up against Basel Weber. Basel could block him.
Yeah, they did a good job, man. They did a good job against him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you got to say they did a good job. But when I look at it, I feel like the Crocodiles trying to move him around, you got to be more strategic about it. Because there was a couple times where him and Coleman were on the same side, but he didn't go. Or he waited and then went. And the thing is, that works against teams that have average to below quarterback play. Kamari was picking that up every time, which means you can't just – talent doesn't always work if you got good coaching. And that's what it looked like. It looked like one team was trying to use their talent and the other team was using their scheme. And the Steelers had the better scheme in this one. Yeah, I don't want to make it sound too bad about it, but it was a good game, though. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Last game, let me see. Gotta look on this paper. Last game we had was the Portland Butchers versus the Wausau Royals. Who won it? I mean, what do you think about this one?
I think we've seen the same thing we normally see from the Royals. Well, I'm gonna say what we normally see. It was early, and it was actually, like kind of back and forth a little bit as far as punts and and drive stalling. So defensively, the Royals did make some pretty good stops. It just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough. They couldn't stop the big plays for one, and then that goes to Lucas Erla, Aaron Bide, and Robitaille. Um, I mean, the way that the way that Lucas can change the game, it's like you got a chance. You have a chance against the Butchers. I'm gonna say this: you have a chance against the Butchers, but it has to be before the big plays like that, because
Mm-hmm.
that
Gotta
that
be.
kills that kills your confidence every time. It's like it seems like every time I see Aaron B, they throw the ball up, it's like Lucas is separating from somebody. And it's like, dang, do y'all not watch film? Or is it just that y'all think y'all good enough to play him 7 yards off or 8 yards off? That's not enough. Like you
Well,
have to be physical. You have to be physical
in
with him.
in the defense of some of these secondaries, Aaron B, they be out there running around.
Yeah, he
He be
do.
running
He
around.
do.
And
He
when he
do.
start running, he's fast enough that you're like, okay, he's gonna run. But he's smart enough that he will wait till the last second, right before he's about to cross that line, and then launch that son of a gun about 60 in the air. And Luke is back there, and the safety is like, nah, he ain't gonna throw it. Not looking like that.
Yeah.
And
And he
look over
throw
his
it.
head
Yeah.
and he throw it.
That's why you gotta
That
pick your poison. You gotta pick your poison. I know this
Yep,
this is something that's
exactly.
from old school coaching. If you see a quarterback now, if you watch the previous game of the quarterback that you about to play now, if this quarterback is running out of the pocket and he running for 70, 80, 90 yard runs, then my coach will say, hey, if he gets on the move, commit to him. Leave the receiver, commit to him. I'm not saying Aaron B they can't run, but he's gonna hurt you throwing the ball more than he is running. So, in my opinion, so like run with the receiver. Let him
It
run and get 15 yards or
it
20 yards. I'll take that
it's like
all day, bro.
it's like what you said. Like you have to do your job, and every defensive back, especially if you're a safety, the position is called safety. Get your ass back there. You are the
Yeah,
last resort. Like
yeah.
you can always come up and make a tackle 15, 20 yards down the field. What you can't do is let someone catch it behind you where there's no one else.
Nobody
And
else. Yeah.
if you think the quarterback is going to run, let him run.
Let
There's
him
nobody's
run.
going to there's not one time a running quarterback has ever been an issue for a secondary player in the film room. And a coach ain't ever going to come in there and be like, "Why didn't you run up and make that tap?" That's never going to
Exactly.
happen. But you know what? You know what will happen? Why you let them get behind you?
Yeah.
And you got to do your job. Football is a do your job sport.
Yeah.
When people start trying to do other things, that's when that type of stuff happens. Because
And that's
I
what
tell you
happened.
this much, I'll tell you this much, and y'all might not want to hear this, but if I ever had to play against Lucas Erla, that
I'm gonna
boy
beat
would
him
be.
up at the line.
I
He gonna
I, I
beat
would
up.
be. I would be. I'm gonna be honest with you. I beat him up in between the whistles. Like,
Oh
boy,
yeah,
play
you
over. I
got
throw a
to.
little something.
The first play of the game, is a penalty. The first play of the
Mm-hmm.
game is going to be a penalty on him. This is like
Yeah,
we talking about jam to the chest, throat, face area. Sir, this is what you about to get all game. Like you're not
yeah,
finna run off the ball and run down the field on me all game. Like I'm gonna beat you up the whole game. But obviously, that's the
yeah,
mentality too. So
yeah.
if you don't
But
do that, then he's gonna continue doing what he's been doing all year, and that's
you
running
know,
by everybody.
let me give the rest of y'all a little secret too. If I'm playing against Lucas Erla, when it's a run play, I'm on his ass. Like it's a run play, I'm jamming him into the sideline like it's a pass play. Because
Yeah.
that's what's good. He might. I mean, it don't make sense, but that might fatigue him a little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
he don't run as fast on the next
Nobody
go
wants to
route.
deal with that. Like nobody wants to
Yeah,
deal with that extra push at the end of the play or that extra push during the play. He's like you notice it, and it does take energy out of
it take,
everybody. It don't matter
yep,
who it is, it takes energy out of them. So if you're just gonna sit up there and let him run off the ball and do what he want to do, it's gonna be a long season. Whoever play against them, but
yeah.
Robitaille's a little bigger. He's a lot bigger. So if
Yeah, I
you
wouldn't
want
do
to
that
do
to
stuff
him.
with him, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in for a fight. But I think if you want to hold up Lucas, you're gonna have to beat him up at the line. But everybody's not capable of doing that. But It's an idea. So
I mean, yeah, we just giving you ideas. We ain't giving you no plan, but it's an idea that it might help somebody. It might help you. It's one of those things where when you're guarding receivers, you just don't want to give them a free release. It's like you don't have to necessarily say you can stop somebody, but you don't want to make it easy for them. And that's what it seems like people are doing. They're making it easy for him, especially when so many teams like to play off coverage. You don't see a lot of press man in Finland. You see a lot of off man and off coverage, which means you never really can actually get your hands on. And if you can't get your hands on somebody that's faster, more athletic, and speedier than you, what can you do to make up for it? Get beat on a regular. That's what these guys are doing out there. But Butchers won. It was 21-0 when I stopped. No, it was 19-0 at half when I stopped watching. And I just want to throw this out here. In the first half that I saw, the only turnover the quarterback had was a fumble. But I did go look at the stats to make sure that he threw his annual or weekly interception. So, that kept going.
You know who got it? You know who got that interception?
Miko Sepinen.
Zach Wright.
No, Zach Wright. Yeah, okay. I didn't write it on my stats. I saw the interception. It was right before the half. Yeah, Zach Wright got the interception. You're right.
I don't know why people keep doing that either. Right? Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of defensive players. I'll say this. I've seen a lot of defensive players since my time in Finland. And I can't, besides the linebacker, I can't think of his name, besides this linebacker that played for Corpio a few years ago. Not after AJ them. I can't remember. We used to say his name like every week, though, on Players of the Week. I can't remember his name. But other than him.
Oh, you're talking about Kiki.
What's it?
Kiki Leroy. It was like
something.
Yeah,
it was something like that. Yeah,
Leroy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Other than him, Zach Wright is affecting every single game on defense. Every single game, like.
And here's what with Zach Wright: if he don't get a pick, he gonna take a punt to the crib. Like that's. He's one of one. He's one of one.
Yeah, it's just the Butchers got a lot, man. Butchers got a lot to deal with, man. Honestly, they got a lot to deal with. So,
and the Royals got a lot to fix because again, they started the season 3-0. They're now 4-4.
Yeah,
going the wrong way, guys, and we still relying on an offense that can't pass the ball because they turn it over from the quarterback position again. And again, I'm not gonna say his name because I know he's a young guy and trying to put him out there, but. Not only did he throw an interception, he also had a fumble from underneath center. Like, he's not only giving you, like, one interception a game. He's usually giving you 2 turnovers a game. And like I said earlier, that's 2 extra possessions for your opponents. And usually it's at a bad spot on the field. When he fumbled the ball, I think he gave it to them on their side of the field. The other team was basically in score position. The interception was, further down the field, but it's still extra possession. It's a possession game. I think the Royals are doing him a disservice. They're doing us a disservice because we got to see it every week. And they tried to put Alpha in, and that didn't even work for them, from what I saw. Because, again, 19-0 half. Because
they got to let him develop, man. They got to let him develop. And unfortunately, in Finland, a lot of teams think them playing is the best for them. Reps do get you better, but they're not getting you better if it's hurting the team. Like it's like contradicting. It's like your job also as an organization is to give your team the best chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just worried about developing your quarterback and him getting repetition, then you're doing a disservice to everybody else on the team. So the Royals they have the people to make games and make them competitive. It's just when a team knows you just don't have constant quarterback play. It's easy to coach against this. It's easy to play against it. And that's just what the Royals running into. And it just don't really give them a chance to win. So, they could easily be in that 3rd, 4th, 5th range if they had a better quarterback. They could be in that range. So,
and for me, it's just a general point swing. Every time you throw an interception, you're costing yourself 7 and maybe giving them – that's 14 points. That's a large deficit. And most teams in this league, we're seeing a lot of turnovers. I mean, there's some good defense. So, you're gonna throw a pick, maybe a pick every game. But he's not just throwing a pick; he's throwing 2 picks. He's not just throwing picks; he's fumbling the ball. He's giving turnovers, and then he's not even following it up with points. That's what really makes it hard. If I throw 2 interceptions, but I had 6 tutties, I ain't tripping.
Feeling that bad about it,
Yeah. But if I got no touchdowns and I'm constantly throwing interceptions, like he has more interceptions than touchdowns thrown easily this year. It's going to be to the point that he's going to be we're in week 8 or 9. He easily has 12 interceptions and maybe four passing touchdowns. He's not going to have more passing touchdowns than interceptions on the season. And say what you want to about development. How do you gain confidence from being in that situation?
From that, it's going to be hard for him. Yeah.
There's nowhere to get confidence from. There's no game you look back and be like, oh, I was da-da-da. And that's saying that even though they picked him as MVP for one game, still wasn't even that good of a game. I think he had like 4 touchdowns in one game or 3 touchdowns in one game with 2 interceptions. The ratio still isn't great. That's not 6 and 2. That's 3 and 2. That's still iffy. But I'm leave that man alone. Let's get into this week's games. All right. Maple League is back this weekend. We got Thursday games, East City Giants versus Helsinki Wolverines. That'll be an interesting rematch. And then on Friday, we have Seinäjoki Crocodiles versus Helsinki Roosters. And then Saturday, doubleheader in the morning, Wausau Royals versus Tampa Saints. And then in the evening, Kuopio Steelers versus Porvoo Butchers. So this is like week 1 rematches, I think. So let's get into that first game. East City Giants versus Helsinki Wolverines. What's a storyline or question you got for one of these teams in this one?
You know what? I actually think this is going to be a pretty good game because they're pretty much equal in what they're going through right now. Not being able to compete with the more top tier teams. Have little splashes of success here and there, but ultimately they're missing a lot of talent in certain positions. And I think these are the games where they can actually sit back and play comfortable and don't have to worry, don't have to feel like they lost when they got off the bus. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but sometimes it's you play better. The guys have a little more confidence when they feel like they can win a game. And I think this is one of the games where both teams are going to go into this game expecting to win. And that does a lot for the morale, does a lot for the confidence. So right now, ECG to me has some perks of this game, but also the Wolverines. The Wolverines can get the ball. If they can get the ball to Sid, they can get the ball to Youngblood, and they might, have some things they can make happen. But if they continue to turn the ball over on offense, this is going to be a ugly game. And ECG, if I had to, pick one, I ain't gonna say winner right now, but if I had to say which offense I have a little more faith in, it would definitely be ECG. So quarterback play be very important in this game, and we'll go from there and see how it go.
I agree with you. My question would be is for both of these teams, are you the baby brother or the middle child? Helsinki, like it's 3 of y'all out there. You ain't the big bro. We know what it is. The city is red. But at the same time, now that there's 3 teams there, there's an opportunity for the Wolverines not to just be the other team in Helsinki. But there's also an opportunity for ECG to say, hey, we're the second choice, like we're not the baby. We're the middle child, if anything. I mean, the middle child is the one that does whatever. That's the one you can't predict because they live in a whole different lifestyle. So that's why I really like. That's what I want to know from these teams. Like, which one of y'all is like? Hey,
I think it's ECG. ECG is the middle child.
It kind of feel that way, right?
Yeah.
But I also think this game, the matchup that really is going to define it. And it's a very interesting matchup with this group because we're going to look at the young secondary of the Wolverines versus the young receiving core of the ECD Giants. Like, without being too like overly optimistic about it, you're going to be looking at two teams probably of like junior national team players or something that have played against each other a lot. But now we're playing in the Maple League. We're not playing the U20 season. We're playing the Maple League season. It's a little different, even though we probably played you for the last couple of years, because both of these teams are comprised of a lot of U20 players. And most of the Wolverines guys are on the defensive side. Most of the the EC Giants is on both sides. The whole team is U20, but they're like best receivers are like U20 age, and those are the guys you're gonna be looking at when you think about R2 Blumquist, who I don't know if he's still there, but Lindbergh, who's been there for the last, or Lundberg, number 30, he's been there the last couple of weeks and running back, and then of course Dan Daniel, he's 20 years old, I think now, and then Ronnie Lindroos, number 23, that showed up a couple weeks ago. I think he's 19, maybe 20. But again, these are all young guys. So how they respond against each other in this game is really going to determine who wins. I mean, the quarterback play is probably going to be the biggest difference because you got to get it to the receivers. And one team can, and the other team, we don't know if they can. But again, if the Wolverines' young guys, their secondary, if those secondary guys are able to make plays, Fiso, he's a standout guy.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about the run, let me get an interception in this game. Same thing from the other guys that they have at corner. You got Capo, you got Auguste. All those guys have been playing all year, and they're all under the radar. They've been doing their best. They haven't had the opportunity to play against competition that they should match up against. This is the game.
Yeah.
This is the game. You match up well, but we're going to find out if you got it in this game. So I think that'll be the matchup to watch. Interesting aspect, obviously the little brother type of thing, but this game will be at the Velo. Last time I think they played at the grass field, so that'll be a little bit different. Everybody's a little bit faster on the turf. And both of these teams are from Helsinki, so it's not going to be like we don't know what to wear situation, but we should see better play than when they're playing on that grass. Yeah. Anything else on this one? I think it's good. Yeah. Let's get to the next one. All right, next game we got is Seinäjoki Crocodiles versus Helsinki Roosters, and this is number 4 versus number 2, right? In the standings. What is your question or storyline in this one?
Man, what are the for one of the Crocs? Right now, the Crocs have lost 2 games in a row. Right?
Have they?
Right.
No.
Right? They lost 2 games in a row?
They just lost to 1. Didn't they win the week before?
Did they beat the Saints? But yeah, they beat the Saints.
They played the Saints, yeah.
My bad. Yeah, so I'm going to say this. They can't lose 2 games in a row. At least I feel like they don't want to lose 2 games in a row. But I believe offensively they have to have somewhat a semi-perfect game or something close to a perfect game on offense against the Roosters. And some kind of way, find a way to get pressured. Although the Roosters' running game in the red zone and just all around right now is opening up. It's opened up. And they have 2 running backs that can run the ball. So how the Crocs play Akano and Coleman in this game would be very important. And then the back end of their defense, the safeties. What are you guys gonna do with Nunley? Who's gonna focus on him? Who's gonna focus on the other guys that Ambrose been throwing the ball to too? So it's a lot on the plate of the Crocs right now. So the Crocs got to really, and at the same time, it's a playoff game for them. No matter how much you want to see it, if you say the playoffs started yet or not, this is what you're going to see in the playoffs if you make it. So the Crocs have a big task, a bigger task to me. I think the Roosters just have to make sure that they protect Ambrose and make sure that they're still running the ball and doing what they need to do to finish drives. But I think this could potentially be a good game. In the first half, I believe it'll be a good game. I do think the Crocs will come out hype because it's obviously they playing in Sanioke, right? They should be playing in
Um,
Sanioke.
I think this one, this one's in Senioki.
Yeah. So, you got guys. Some guys might not make the trip. Some guys might, but the Crocs always play a little better at home, if you ask me. But I do believe it's they got a lot on their plate dealing with this Roosters offense. But we'll see. We'll see how the Crocs defense does against the Roosters offense. I think that's the most important matchup of this game.
So the Crocs defense versus the Roosters offense.
Mm.
That makes sense. I think I agree with you on a lot of that, especially with the importance of the game. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the storyline, is the importance of this game, because it's a playoff game, but it's also far enough away from the playoff games. Does that make sense? That no matter what happens in this game, you're going to learn something. But also it's far enough away that you don't have to worry about showing your hand. So you can put it all on the line in this game, and you still got a couple weeks later that you can always come up and adjust what happened, what went well, what didn't go well. So it's a really good matchup, and it's going to let you know, like, are you there? Are you a playoff team or not? And for them, you just played against a playoff team, and like we said, they didn't have enough firepower. They didn't make enough big plays, and it goes back to what you said. If you look at the game that the Crocodiles just played, their defense didn't stop the offense enough. They weren't able to stop what the Steelers did. And the Steelers, basically what they did was Ethan Greenfield.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was, 200 yards rushing. Like, they had Ethan Greenfield, and the quarterback sprinkled it around when you needed to. When they got to the red zone, he found Quika, he found Choke for 15, 20 yards, stuff like that. But the bulk of their offense ran through the run game. And if you look at the Roosters, they got a two-headed monster that nobody can really, stop. And if you do try to stop that, Ambrose has showed, I will get it to – I got a big, big play guy, Bryce Nunley. And then I got young guys like you were talking about from last week, Arthur Takapa, who could become that number 2 guy. And then if you keep sleeping on me, Santu Vekamaki going to slide in and out as well. And then, like I said, Pitkinen, he just had a really good week, so he probably won't have a good week this next week. But you still got to watch number 14 as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of firepower. The only way to combat that is you have to be able to make those plays on defense. I think for them, the hard part is going to be as good as Akano is, as good as Riley Coleman is. Those can't be the only guys.
Yeah.
Atu Tuoko got to show up this week. Oxley Sirainen got to show up this week. Like, players got to make plays on their defense, or this is going to be one of those games. The Roosters aren't going to play you like the Steelers did. If you let the Roosters know that they can do what they want, they're going to put it on you because they like to get their backups in. So,
they want to play for sure.
Yeah. If you watch that game against the Steelers, there were a lot of times where you're like, well, why don't you just stick to this and, put it on them? But they were playing to their scheme. They're like, we're going to keep doing what we know how to do. The Roosters will quickly at halftime be like, nah, forget this. We're just going to do this, get up, and then get out. And so for the Crocodiles, you don't want them at that point because they're one of the best adjustment teams that I've ever seen, and that's the Roosters. And they will adjust, but you want to make them adjust more than you want them to say, okay, we know what works. So for them, again, it's defensively. Their defense is going to have to make plays, just like you said. Interesting aspect is I feel like I haven't seen the white jerseys enough from the Roosters. I feel like they only play home games. Yeah, I don't know why. I almost don't remember what their white jerseys look like. So I'm interested to see that. But other than that, it should be a good matchup. I do think it'll be closer. I think it'll be a close game, though. I wonder what the score was last time they played. I should have looked that up already. I'm gonna look it up now though, because I'm on the website. Bear with me, my internet is not going fast as I thought it was. Okay, last time the Roosters won 21-9.
Yeah.
They were losing at halftime. The Saints were up 9-7 at halftime. The Roosters scored 14 in the third quarter, and that was it. So they should be thinking about that going into this one for sure. And we'll jump into the next game. Now we have Wassel Royals versus Tampa the Saints for their rematch. Oh boy, this is What do you got for storyline or question in this one? This is interesting.
This is this is another interesting game.
They're going two opposite ways.
Yeah, the Saints are looking up, and the
Mm-hmm.
Royals are looking down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this will be. I know for one, Alpha is going to have to play corner this game. That's for sure. Alpha is definitely going to have to play corner. If he doesn't play corner, it's going to be a long day for that defense. It's going to be a long day. I think the Saints have confidence now that they didn't have in the previous weeks. I think they're licking their chops right now at playing the Royals. I really do feel that way. Don't get me wrong. The Royals do have players in the right positions to make this a great game, a good game. But the one thing that's going to hold them back, and I hate to just keep beating the dead horses, they quarterback play. It's just if the defense can play with the Saints defense, and they're gonna probably get their stops, and they're probably, Khalifa and all them guys are gonna make some plays. But if the Royals cannot get in the end zone, you're only gonna stop Tampa Saints so much. And they just have a lot of guys that can actually make plays with the ball in their hand, and they'll get a chance to actually make those plays because their quarterback can get it to them. That's the only difference. As far as I don't think either team is that much better than the next. It's just right now the Saints have made a decision to play better, to make more plays. They have a little more cohesion right now. So the Royals are just trying to scratch and fight and find a way to win. But this is also one of those games where Alpha get an opportunity to probably get a return or two. You know what I'm saying? So this will be a good matchup. I won't say they're the lower tier teams. I won't give them that, but they're right there in that could be playoff team. They're just missing certain players, but I think this will probably be one of the good games of the weekend, though.
Yeah, I think for this game, I'm trying to think of what's the difference between these teams. I think they both have decent defenses, but if there's ever a team whose defense I'm not 100% sold on, it would probably be the Saints. Like we've said it before, not really sold on the effort, but that's also before they got these two guys who brought in fresh blood playing linebacker and safety / corner. So that might not be the case anymore because it really might not be the case. The defense might be much better and much improved because of that. And again, on their D line, Chase McCoy has just silently been really good all year for them at the DT position. You're going against this team. You score points against this team. First of all, I would avoid those three guys. I would avoid the nose, outside linebacker, safety. I would try to move it around. But also, Logan last week played corner. So if we have a top receiver, but I don't think the Royals have a receiver. I take it back. Sorry, quickly. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Yeah. I was thinking on the other side. I was thinking about Ami, but quickly. He would. I think he would demand the respect of, hey, we're going to put our number one on your number one. But if that's the case, how can you get the ball to your other guys? We're not sure because of the quarterback situation. But let's play hypothetical. If the Royals were to figure out a way to not let their quarterback hurt them, I think a heavy dose of Tom Sawosty jet sweeps to Alpha every once in a while. And if Ami Linforce can have a good game, he's had a couple this season where you're like, okay, he could be your second guy. If they can figure out how and when to do that, they can make this a game. But ultimately, if it comes down to we need a play, you don't trust their offense, but you do trust the Saints. Like right now, Jesse Robbins is like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't think there's anything the offense can't do if he has the ball. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. I'm trying to think of where the key matchup would be, and I do think it's going to be I'm going to say the Saints secondary versus the Royals like receiving core and passing game.
Yeah, but see, they got Collier and
Dejan.
We got both of them playing DB now, so it kind of helps out. It helps out a lot with a quarterback that's not going to throw the ball 50, 60 yards down the field. So it kind of they can play up. They can play 10, 12 yards because he's not feeling like hurt him throwing the ball. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup though.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to give the Royals some benefit of the doubt. Scratch him out clearly.
Get the ball to Alpha 10 times on offense at least 10 to 12 times at least. So see what happens.
Oh, I figured it out while I was scratching my head. Let the quarterback run. He's a good runner. He's good at running with the ball. If they go into this with more of a we're only going to pass it 6 times mentality, and we're going to do a lot of other stuff, they keep the ball long enough that the Saints have to score quick. And I think anybody that has to score quick that isn't the Purdue Butchers, that's pressure. And that pressure is what turns things into mistakes. And that's the only way that I think that the Royals can put pressure on the Saints is by holding the ball on offense, taking time of possession. I think they can do that on offense, then they have a good chance in this one. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. I ain't got nothing else. Move on. All right, last game, the one we've been waiting for. Kuopio Steelers versus Purdue Butchers. A rematch from week 1 when the Butchers won it decisively, 35-14. I guess I only watched the first half. It was 21-0 at half. What are your thoughts on this one? I mean,
totally different. I will say it's a totally different Kuopio team than that first game. Totally different Kuopio team in that first game. The important part of this game is going to be how solid will Kuopio's defense be in the run game. Because obviously Christian Powell is going to touch the ball. I think on the other side, though, I think you want Ethan Greenfield to get just as many carries, or if not more carries than what Christian Powell is going to get. You want to keep Aaron Bede off the field, limit the drives that he gets, which also means that Kuopio is going to have to prolong some drives. I think they can do that with that quarterback, with Corey Lane being able to run the ball, Ethan Greenfield running the ball. You even got Noah Choate, Isaac Marshall. They got a lot of ways to keep the ball in their possession and limit how many possessions the Butchers, get. I think that's the remedy to beating the Butchers, and that's not giving them the opportunities that they're getting every week to score, because you're not going to keep stopping them. The more they touch the ball on offense, the harder it's going to be for a team to stop them. So if Kuopio can limit all these drives that the Butchers are used to getting, then they got a chance. And the only way I think they do that is that running game. Stick with the running game, make it happen, make Zach Wright come down here all game, to where now it might open up the passing game on a play action or something like that. But what you can't do is let Zach Wright sit back and let Jalen Todd handle everything up front which is what I'm sure Porvo is expecting to do. But they have to limit the drives more than anything from Porvo. But if Aaron Bide and Christian Powell and Lucas Earl is over there getting 12 and 13 play drives, it's gonna be a long day for Scorpio. So interesting matchup though. I would say first would be the DBs of Scorpio against the receivers and the offensive Portwood. I think that's the only important matchup in this game because
Agreed.
how good they play depends on how quick this game gets ugly or if it gets ugly. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree, but I also want to throw out another matchup that I think might be something. When I first think about it, I always think DBs versus receivers in this one, but just to throw in some intrigue is you also have to realize that the first time they played, it was first week of the season, a long time ago. Um, Adam Callahan had just got here. I mean, that was his first Maple League rep. He is coming into his own from that linebacker position. Same thing with Jalen Todd on the other side for the Butchers, but I think it's a little bit different situation with him and the Steelers. Is that he's like the heartbeat of that defense, and his job this week. I don't know. Well, I don't know what they probably tell him, but I would tell him your job is to become the equivalent of Christian Powell. And just thinking about what happened last week with the Butchers, where there were situations when apparently you can guard their receivers, because there was a couple situations where Aaron Bide is looking for receivers. There's nobody to throw to, and it looks like, okay, the pocket is about to collapse. He's finally going to get sacked, and he flips the ball out in different ways. I seen him do a front flip and then an actual throw, and where does that ball usually go to? 15, Christian Powell. Who is just as good in open space as he is from behind the quarterback. So that's crazy. I think in this game, if every time 15 gets the ball, we see number 0 from the Steelers in there, you don't have to win. You don't have to always make the tackle. But if you're on him when he gets the ball, that defense got a better chance. They got a good pursuit defense. The Steelers get to the ball. Everybody gets to the ball. But that first person is what slows down the runner. And that needs to be Adam Callahan at all times whenever Christian Powell gets the ball. If he's able to do that and force them into a situation where it's not 2nd and 5, it's 2nd and 7, that gives you a little bit of leverage. It's different than it's being 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, and it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2. There's a difference in that. Those couple yards takes away a little bit of the thought process of, okay, we can run it. It takes away the process of, okay, we can do a quick screen or we can do a shallow route real quick, get the ball out. If we get a yard or 2, that's okay. That's all we need. No, if they need 6 or 7 on 2nd down, they're more likely to do a screen or a longer developing play, which, again, you know that because you put them in that situation. I think that's what Adam Callahan hopefully stop. I'm not gonna say stopping because that's just stupid, but slowing down Christian Powell in this game, just to go something different than what we normally think. And then looking at the way the playoffs are about to go, the Steelers are right now. They're in 2nd place, I think. No, they're in 3rd place. They're behind the Roosters, but they're almost the only team that has games left after this game, because they've played less games than everybody. They've only played 7. Everybody else has played 8, I think, except for Wolverines. Because they play the Helsinki teams after this. They play East City Giants, then they play Wolverines. I'm just gonna throw this out there. That's 2 more wins. So just saying it is what it is. You're at 7 wins. Even if they lose this game, they still look like they might be in 3rd place. They might, even if they lose the game, they might have 3rd place locked up. But if they win this game, they can be looking at a 2nd place finish. Because the Roosters are 6 and 2. So the Roosters only have 2 more games. The most games they can win is 8. And I think that's the same situation with the Steelers. I don't know who would have a tiebreaker, But it's one of those situations where if you win this game, it might not be important. Because if you win this game, you might be 2, and then you end up playing the Roosters. If you lose this game, you might be 3, and end up playing the Roosters. I'm throwing that out there for intrigue. Obviously, they're probably not thinking about that, but I am.
Yeah. They want to be. Who knows? I don't know what position I would want to be. I wouldn't want to play the Butchers first. I'll say that. So
yeah, that's you want to make sure that you. But that's what I'm saying. Like if they know that they have the 2 Helsinki teams to play, they're probably. I mean, with 7 wins, they're most likely not going to be below 3rd place, unless the Crocodiles. The Crocodiles are 5-3, so they only have. So the Crocodiles can only be 7-3. And they just beat the Crocodiles, so they had the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they win this game, they might go to 2. That the biggest difference for them is if they win this game, they'll get home field advantage for the playoffs. Which financially, that might be big. Yeah. That'd be big. And honestly think about who you're gonna be playing. I would much rather play the Helsinki Roosters in Kuopio than in Helsinki, where no matter what you say, even if you're like, oh, well, it's just Helsinki, you got to remember those teams that don't make the playoffs, they show up for the playoff games that are in Helsinki.
And you at the Velo. And you don't want to be on the Velo. So
you don't want to risk them knees too much. So for them, it's a lot on the line. I think the Butchers have already clinched. They clinched it
first. Yeah, they clinched first.
Yeah, because they've beaten everybody, so nobody could, even if they lost the next 2 games. I mean, if that's the case, I think the Butchers and the Steelers should just paper, rock, scissors for it. Save your body. Just paper, rock, scissors for it, and then what happens happens. Both be fresh because the Steelers got 3 more games left. Nobody else has that many games. Everybody else has 2 games. This week.
We should be talking about MVPs pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, we probably. Well, we're going to be able to talk about that in the last week. It's only 1 game.
Yeah.
There's only 1 game in the last week, and so we're going to be getting pretty. Yeah, this is week 10, so everybody playing their 9th game this week, except for those Steelers who are only playing their 8th game, and then the week after that is 1 more. Everybody plays, and then last week is just them and the Wolverines. I was saying they have a lot of games left, so this might be a game that. Well, I guess you can go all out because again, you probably don't need everybody for the Helsinki teams, depending on how that goes. But I would still rather paper, rock, scissors. For the Butchers, you just keep adding gas to the fire. Just keep pouring it on. But yeah, I think that this will be a good matchup. It really will depend on like how much the Steelers can affect the Butchers in this one, because that's what we haven't seen a lot of teams do is affect what the Butchers do. That's it for us. All right, that's it for this episode of American Football in Finland. Any last words you want to get out before we get out of here, Q?
Hey, now, man, we trucking on down to the last few games, man. It's been going by fast, man. So now it's buckle down time. It's time to get right for the playoffs because it's pretty much one and done. So all the teams that's chasing. You know what I'm saying? The other 3 teams besides the Butchers, hey, I think they all know what they need to do and how good they got to be to get there. So, show us what you got. Show us what you got.
Yeah, I got nothing. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Hope the games go well. People stay safe out there. I'm ready for the playoffs already. I feel like we kind of already know. So these next couple of weeks, we can get through this, man. But anyways, we'll be back on the podcast next week with more stuff. You make sure you guys subscribe, follow, like, and share on all social channels at American Football in Finland. Until next time, never forget.
T
I
F.
we gone.
We gone.